What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today you guys will be learning how to kickflip. Last time we did frontside 180, so there's nothing much more to say. Let's just get into the video. Let's start out with the basics and really get into what is a kickflip and how we're going to be doing it. So a kickflip is an ollie, right? But then after you do your pop, you flick with your front foot. That makes the board rotate whichever way you flick, whether you're goofy or regular, and then you catch it once it's done a full rotation and you land back on the ground. Okay, so to a kickflip, there's really three main parts to it. You've probably seen this before, but it's the pop, it's the flick, and then the catch. And those combined can get you a perfect looking kickflip. Foot position, I would have your back foot in the center of the tail or in this pocket right here. And your front foot, you can have a little bit up. I keep my front foot more like an ollie, and I have it maybe an inch away and an inch back from the bolts. Now that we know how the kickflip is set up for and its components, let's get into how you can practice this yourself and the easiest way to progress to getting a full one on flat ground. So let's talk about how to practice the kickflip. To understand how this practice will go, we need to first know how the flick really works. So it's just like a normal ollie. As the board comes up, your foot will come up, but then you'll kick forward. And so you can practice this by putting it on the board where you would, rotating it on the side of your ankle, and flicking off the nose. Here, you're flicking off this corner. And if you have white shoes or something that's not black, you'll be able to see where you're flicking, and you can practice flicking it off the right point. The biggest thing to remember about the flick of the kickflip is to not keep your ankle stiff throughout the movement. It should be like a spring, and right at the corner, it should release all of its tension and flick off the board to help complete that rotation. And just remember to practice that flick at a standstill until you feel comfortable to move on to the next step. Now that you know that, let's talk about learning this trick in the first phase of practice. So we can practice the flick by getting on the board and just flicking. We're not trying to catch the board, we're not trying to commit to it. All we're trying to do is get a full rotation. And it should look like that. And you can practice this over and over until you get the correct rotation and it spins fully around. That's when you're ready to move to the next step. The way I learned this trick, and I cannot stress enough how important it is to practice this trick in the grass or practice holding on to something. That is the only way I was able to start committing to this trick on concrete. This sometimes is the first trick that the board actually rotates under their feet and they don't know how to commit to it. It can be very scary, and doing something like that can help you feel a lot more comfortable and safe doing the trick. Do not try to do it on a trampoline if you have wheels on your board. Now, if you've committed to in the grass, you should start to try to commit to it on concrete. And you can do this 1 foot by 1 foot. So I just committed with my front foot. Now you can try to commit to it with your back foot. Now hopefully you've committed with 1 foot or the other. At this point you can start trying to put both feet on the board. And that doesn't have to look like a perfect bolts kickflip. It can look like this, or look like this. As long as your feet, both of them, are trying to land back on the board, you're doing it right. And at that point, it's just getting more comfortable with the flick and getting muscle memory. Now let's talk about the biggest problems that I faced when I was trying to do it. The first one was when this happened. The board goes out in front of you. So right there, the problem I had with that is I was leaning too far back on the tail. And the second problem was leaning too far forward. And something like this would happen. The board would go behind me. All you have to do to fix this is center your weight in between your 2 feet. That's what you should always think about. Your weight should be right in between your 2 feet. The final problem I faced was when my board would go one way or the other, like it was trying to do a 180. And that was because my shoulders weren't stacked on top of my feet. They were rotated. Because when you rotate your shoulders, your hips follow. So when you flick, the board's gonna pop a different way than just keeping it straight. So let's go over it one more time. Your back foot pops and your front foot comes up and slides forward and your ankle flicks off the corner. It's kind of like a 90-degree angle. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully now you know how to kickflip too. If it helped, please subscribe and like, and if it didn't and there was things I didn't cover, please drop those in the comments below and I can make another video explaining some of the problems that you faced or you need help on that I didn't cover here. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.